Tonight's headline: Lindsey Graham, longtime South Carolina senator, has unexpectedly passed away, leaving his Senate seat suddenly vacant. The news first broke on national television, and the political world quickly realized there's no automatic heir until his younger sister, Darlene Graham, was separation sworn in as the interim replacement on Tuesday. According to the report, Michael Costa called the seat an inheritance jackpot on The Daily Show, a comment that immediately turned a solemn moment into a punchline for the late-night crowd. In a more grounded turn of events, politicians themselves moved to fill the gap. After the obituary, the South Carolina delegation convened and, following Senate protocol, selected Ms. Darlene Graham to serve for the remaining months of the term. That means for the next few months, the state will have an alternate senator who has never held a seat before, but who shares a name and a family connection that once made a joke on a late Builders show more than a joke. Costa's inheritance jackpot phrase didn't stop there. He continued with a series of comic observations, saying, "Most people just get a garage full of damp boxes," a terrifyingly bland image that stood in stark contrast to the excitement of a sudden political vacancy. He then joked that her work will be cut out for her for the next 5 months, plus 36 weeks vacation time, a dramatic exaggeration of the responsibility she will actually take on. The headlines on the late-night circuit didn't stay strictly factual. Another host, Ike Barinholtz, guest host of Jimmy Kimmel Live, lent his own voice to the absurdity, remarking, "But the big political story today is that we officially have a replacement for Lindsey Graham in the Senate, and it's Lindsey Graham's sister, which is very confusing because I always thought Lindsey Graham was Lindsey Graham's sister." The comment, while playful, echoes the real confusion many viewers have because the sudden switch in the Senate's leadership felt like a plot twist. While the focus is on the replacement, the late-night writers didn't shy away from mentioning the war fiction of the day. Those watching the news quickly realized that the commentary spilled over into unrelated topics, from Iran to the ongoing war that Graham pushed us into, all for comedic flourish. The content is not drawn directly from the Senate's proceedings, but it reflects the station's attempt to weave politics into everyday jokes. In reality, Lindsey Graham served in the Senate for many years, championing his state's business interests and delivering a steady stream of speeches on national security. The nature of his death, sudden and unexpected, added shock to an already overloaded political calendar. By signing his sister into power, the state honored a tradition of family involvement in politics that echoes ministers and dynastic leaders across the world. And while there is no substitute for decades of experience, Ms. Darlene Graham will be sworn onto the Senate floor and will face a series of procedural votes that will bind her to the body's internal rules. Of course, she will also have to learn how the Senate operates, from stalled filibusters to sandwich committees, a learning curve that the inheritance goalie comment flippantly foresees as big political story. So, as the world digests the loss of a seasoned senator, it also looks forward to seeing a fresh, albeit unfamiliar, voice in Washington. The replacement sits in wedge-shaped chairs, has access to a bewildering amount of staff, and will soon be shaping the future for South Carolina. That's the headline: a seat replaced, a family name preserved, and the world reminded that political life is never quiet. That's all for now, and give a wave to the Senate as they have done, from the boxy garage to the polished chambers. Tune in tomorrow for another episode of Daily News, or you can simply stay home and wonder whether politics is more absurd than we imagined. Good night.